Good morning, good morning. Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
how's everybody doing this morning? Happy coffee.
It's a great day to have a great day. Hi, everybody. I'm
Good
missing
morning.
something. Oh, there we are. Okay, now we're everywhere.
There we are. I
Yeah,
got us. Yay.
and people are finding us. Good
Yay.
morning, Catherine Haley. And everybody that's finding us, please help us share this out. Share, 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 because sharing is caring. I know you all get tired of me saying that, but it really is. Because, oh, thank you, Wendy. She shared it to the group. Good morning, and good morning,
Awesome.
Deirdre. Yeah, because if you all help us share, then we don't get in trouble for too many shares.
Yes. And good morning, Deirdre and Scarlett. Wow.
Hi,
Etta
Jerry Seymour.
and Sherry. Oh my gosh, it's like, I love it. It always reminds me of that romper room. I see
Yeah.
Sherry. I see Etta. And there's Tony, and I know Sally's right there too. Good morning. Hello.
Oh, thank you, Catherine
Uh,
Haley. It's
Thank
good to see you all
you.
here. And Deirdre shared it to her timeline.
Oh, thank you, Deirdre. Yeah. It is really a beautiful morning here on the river this morning. It's been so rainy. Has it been raining down there a lot, Terry, at all? It
No,
really
actually,
has
it has
here.
not. We've been spared.
Oh,
Thank
you know,
God, because I'm not real happy with the rain right now, especially when I have to go out in it.
yeah, I understand that. I get that. It's nice here during the day and it's hot,
Good.
but it's been raining every single night.
Yeah.
It's really wild. I mean, we need it,
Hmm.
but poor Sam, he's having to mow the yard almost every day because
Yeah,
Brookie,
hear
she
that.
doesn't like that long grass.
That's the
And
beauty of living in an apartment.
yeah,
I don't have to do it. Like, that makes me very happy.
absolutely. And good morning, Julie Kiss. How are you this morning?
Yeah, lots of people jumping in. Edda's here.
Yes,
Rick Morrow and
Rick.
Sally said good morning. And we have Island Girl on Periscope. Hi, sweetheart. Thank you for coming with us again.
Come here.
And Catherine said it was raining here in Shreveport, Louisiana last week.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. You guys had some serious storms. There's some intense weather going on across the country. This morning when we do our prayers, did you see that out in Las Vegas? 107 degrees.
No, I
The
don't
West
watch
Coast.
any.
Yeah. Well, my husband watches, Sam, he's
I
like
know.
always got the weather
You
channel
keep you
on.
informed.
Yeah, he loves his weather channel. And I was walking through this morning to set up this morning, and I saw the national map, and who I can't remember who it was I was talking to out there, or what I saw, but it was like the heat, it's in the hundreds and it's just intense. And that's really intense for this time of year.
That
So,
is intense. I lived in Arizona for 3 years, and yeah, it's true that you don't feel it. Like if it was 100 degrees here, we wouldn't step outside. We'd be inside with the AC going. But out there, it would get. I think the highest it got while I lived there was like 120 while I was there,
yeah.
and you don't feel it as much, but you do feel it.
Yeah,
It
Sam and I went out to visit my niece and it was like 105. I'm sorry, dry heat or not, it's hot. It's hot. The
is hot.
pavement is hot.
The
And
pavement is hot. That's the thing. And I would, as I was driving, I'd see people out walking their animals, and they'd be on the sidewalk, and I'm going, "Don't do that. Get them in the
no.
grass."
Yeah,
It hurt me just to watch it.
right. And good morning, Becky and Dina. We got lots more coming on.
The cheer is here, and my dear Gabby and Mary Ann, Jean
Hi.
Linsky, Dina Gust. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see all of you.
Aw.
Almost all here.
Good morning, everyone. And okay, so Catherine, she moved to Shreveport last week, and it really welcomed her there. That is awesome. Where are you from, Catherine, originally? Just curious.
Yeah. How's
Uh,
everybody doing today? It's the energy feels a little different today. I had a quieter night, thank God.
oh,
Was
I'm so
telling
glad.
Jeryl that before the show. We did some clearing last night with the seven generation healing, and we're doing that all week. Today it'll be at 5 o'clock, 5 Eastern time. So I hope more people can join in with that earlier time slot. And I think setting the intention, because we did that in our intentions group as well, setting that intention and really wanting peace. That's the thing. It has to start with each of us individually, and that's where it begins, and then we send that energy out. That's why I put my background up today of love. It's like, let's the more love we can send out into the world, the
Yep,
more that combats the darkness. So let's all
absolutely.
please just keep our vibrations as high as we can and
Yeah.
keep sending out love.
And Sherry Gatewood is with us, and Becky says she's got stagnant energy this morning. So there's so many different things you can do, but that, I don't know, Becky, if you were there last night, but the clearing for the seven generations, I think a lot of stuff is coming up. And if you don't mind, Terry, I'd like to bring something up that I really has been popping into my head over and over. So if I speak it out loud, maybe it'll kind of leave me alone.
Okay.
Bruce Lipton talks about the fact that we only live 5% of our life consciously. The other 95% is our subconscious that we live out of. And from the time that we are in the womb until we're 7 years old, our brains are, they're in a hypnotic state. So absolutely everything around them, us, everything we see, everything we hear, everything is goes into our mind, and it completely, that becomes our reality, that becomes our truth. Now as an adult, I always have said I'm not a racist. I have so many friends that are either Hispanic or they're African American, whatever it is. But here's the thing: I grew up in a very racist home. My mother preached tolerance, but my father was in race riots when he was a teenager and when he was young. And he is, I love my dad, but in that area, he's horrible, absolutely horrible. And it hit me yesterday, and I'm going to be doing your seven generation healing, that I may not consciously right now be a racist, but I have those subconscious thoughts and belief systems within me. And so I need to go in and heal that subconscious mind, because that's there. We may not be conscious right now, but it is there. And I remember one time I was downtown Davenport, Iowa, and I was probably in my 20s, and I saw these two young Black men coming down the street, opposite side of the street. I locked my car door, and that was the first time I realized that there was more going on. I didn't understand it back then. Why? Do you know? So I bring this up only to say sometimes there's things that we have within us that we just don't see or we're not aware of. It's no judgment on anyone. Am I a bad person? No. Is my dad? He's playing out his movie, and I love him. But it really was in my face yesterday. And it was, because of the work you're doing, it helped me to bring that up within myself.
Awesome. And I think when you do that clearing today, I think you're really going to find that forgiveness and find that place where you can ask for the energy to be cut, the cord to be cut to it. And
Thank you.
that's my hope. I'm seeing a lot of comments from people that were there last night. It was very emotional. There were a lot of tears. There were a lot of people that connected with their ancestors as they went through and did the healing. And thank you for sharing that, Jeryl Ann. My father was probably what I call the ultimate racist. He, I mean, it was nothing to him to just downgrade them and talk about any other race besides
Right.
the white race. And I always say I don't know how I didn't get some of that in me because
Yeah.
It was constant. He was a very angry man. And so there was a lot of anger in our household, just lingering in our household. So I love what you brought up about our subconscious. And I know that he wasn't the only one in his family. I did get to know his father before he passed. And so I know that our ancestors, they passed down traits, they passed down that aura of whatever it is that they're exhibiting, and it's
Mhm.
there, it's in our DNA. So
Yes,
that's why it's so important to go in and do this kind of work. And the more of us that can clear that, then the more we can pour out the love, the more we
absolutely.
shine our light even brighter. That's the whole purpose of doing this. And once I introduced it and told Dr. Ruth Anderson what I was going to do last night, she jumped on it and she's like, let's do this every day so that more people can get exposed, and we'll do it at different times. So that's the thought process. We're doing it today at 5 o'clock. So any
Okay.
of you that didn't get to participate last night, because it was late, I understand that. Like for Wendy, it was 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
So today it'll be a little bit earlier for you, for those of you in other countries. And
And
then I think on Wednesday we're doing it at 11 o'clock in the morning. So there's opportunities for other countries even to come in and to do the work. And it's such important work. This really is. I can't stress that enough. All of our inner work that we do uncovers those layers, like you were saying. It's there, it's inside of us, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. So, the more layers we can let go of and uncover and open it up, just like the lotus, open it up, and then our light is so much brighter, and you'll feel lighter physically. This is what I've experienced and what other people share with me that they experience.
good morning, Claire Louise. And also, I think, Terry, um, we've all played a multiple of roles, a multitude of roles from lifetime to lifetime or dimension to dimension, however anyone who chooses to look at it. And so, who's to say that we didn't have that? If we incarnate in families and soul groups, it's quite possible that we were our great grandfather or great grandmother or whatever, that in that time it was very prevalent to be a racist or to have these more archaic belief systems. And so maybe part of the reason we came here like this to be around that, but to have the light is so that we could balance that out. So again, I think that's it. I think it's we all are good and bad. We all have these things within us somewhere.
Yeah,
So
I love that point, Jeryl Ann, and I think even we may have come back to heal it, to do just this, to be aware that we can heal that timeline. And I did a private 7 generation healing for someone just this week, and she went back and she met herself in one of those lifetimes, because we go back 7 generations, and she met herself as a child in that lifetime. So it's absolutely possible that that was something that you lived out, either in the poverty, in the war, in the slavery, whatever it might have been. So thank you for bringing that up as well. Yeah, there's so much to this. It's just so spacious when we start to think about the possibilities.
there certainly is not simple. It's not a simple issue. So
There's lots of people jumping in.
no, you want to read some of them?
Well, I want to say hi to Angie, to Carol Allen, Diana came in, Rick Morrow, Gabby. Oh, thank you all for being here. I probably missed some people. Charles Coons,
And Jean Walensky came
Sharon
in.
Boyle.
Yeah.
Oh, this
Oh
is
my gosh. Good morning,
I
everybody.
know. I love this. You really make my day, and I know Gerald Ann's expressed that as well. This is such a beautiful time together in the mornings, and it's so dear to my heart. Even if I have a hard time getting out of bed because I'm not really a morning person, I by the time I get here and sit down at the computer, there's an anticipation. It's like
Yeah.
I just know that you all are going to be here. You're going to be here to be with me. So thank you. Thank you
Well,
all for being in.
It's like waiting for your neighbor to show up in the morning for that cup of coffee, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Everybody got your cup
Yeah.
of your cup of whatever. Mine happens to be coffee.
And, Rick said, my grandfather tortured his black workers. It was in the 1950s, and that is stuck in his mind forever. And, I don't know what your take is on this, Terry, but I think a lot of people, I know Carol had the experience that one of her ancestors was extreme racist, and there was some of the slave owners and that, and I think there is a generational guilt that we feel, or a shame at times. What has that been your experience with the people you've been working with?
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of guilt. And that's the thing about the Ho'oponopono. It is so powerful because forgiveness isn't about forgiving anybody else. That ancestor was just doing the best they could with their beliefs and their what they had to work with.
Right.
So there's no blame. There's no blame. There's no shame. There just is the lifting of the energy and really going into that forgiveness for the fact that it happened, for the what was passed down then from that experience to others, and for that person that was on the receiving end of the abuse as well. Like we say, we live out our movie in our lifetime. We come here for experiences. So
Right.
it's not, and I'm not saying that we ask for anything, but we come here to experience certain lessons. And so when we look at somebody with pity, let's change that. Let's change that thought of I'm, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, to allow that energy to be healed of what the incident that happened, but being grateful that that person experienced whatever they came here to learn that lesson of. And, don't we do that also, like with Jesus?
Yes.
We feel bad that he was crucified, but he came here for that purpose.
Right.
So we don't see the big picture in anybody's life. We don't see what they had in their little chart that they did before they took on the incarnation of a human body.
Right.
So it's not for us to judge. It's not for us to criticize or even to rescue. And I've said this so many times. It's not for us to interfere with anybody else's movie. We can't change their script. And if we try, we're just going to be met with frustration. We're going to be met with a feeling of failure because we weren't able to rescue that person. So when we look at it as everybody is living out whatever it is that they came here to do perfectly, then we can see the perfection in it
Yeah.
instead of judging it or criticizing it or feel like we have to be the superhero that rushes in and saves the day, because that's
Absolutely.
not our job. It's
Yeah.
not our job to do that.
Our
Now,
job is to heal ourselves and to shine the light.
exactly. Now, it's different when we talk about um, like animal abuse. Those animals are here just simply to show love. That's their job. They come here as our companion. They're like angels. I call them angels in fur.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is our responsibility when we see abuse happening. It is our responsibility for those that can't help themselves, for those that don't have a voice. Then, and I so admire Wendy and anyone that volunteers and works with helping animals. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. But we're talking about on that soul level with human beings that have incarnated for a purpose.
Right.
And I think it was you, Geraldine, that has said many times that somebody has to play the bad guy in
Yeah.
the movie of life. So if somebody's playing out that part, it's not for us to try to change that script. They came here to do that for all of us.
Yeah. And the person that is the victim came to be that. We all are both. Okay. We all have both aspects to us.
Yes,
That's this planet. That's the consciousness right now. Now, we all do it in varying degrees every single day. And so what we have a tendency to do is really judge the extremes that we see. But energy is energy, and this is our agreement. And so when, as painful as it is to watch what's happening, there's a bigger picture here. Sometimes it takes this type of pain and destruction and chaos to create a change. Let's face it, in our own lives, the biggest challenges, the most painful things are the things that call our attention to those things we need to heal the most.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. And as painful as it is, I really believe that everyone in this movie picked their part ahead of time. And, I love what George Floyd's family, his brother, came out and talked about. We're a peaceful family. They're grieving such a tremendous loss. And yet they still are keeping peace first and foremost. And so there's, I mean, what an incredible lesson that is for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so there's, as tragic and horrendous and heinous as this is right now, there's some, again, like the COVID, hopefully we can begin to more and more and more focus on the really good things that are coming out of this, the light that's coming out of this, so that it will raise the darkness up. You can't have darkness where there's light.
Absolutely. And I want to share this because I had not heard it before. I went to my client yesterday afternoon. I got to go out and play in traffic. And when I got there, we sat and had a discussion before I did the healing for her. And she shared with me that she heard that there was a police department, I don't know where it was, but they sat in meditation yesterday.
Mhm.
And then down in Miami, they all took a knee, they all just
Yes,
knelt and
yes,
prayed together. And I
yes,
was like, wow, if there could be just one starting this, if only one can start to realize the importance
yes.
of really connecting with spirit and then going out and do your job, what a difference that would make.
There have been across the country several police departments that have joined the protesters in peaceful protest and and rallied with them. So it was not the protesters against the police or vice versa. They actually came together and did the protest together because they're in pain too.
Oh,
So,
yes.
for those who are really doing their job and protecting us, this is a blemish on them. And so, there's so much there. We got so many comments.
I know. And let me just
Yeah,
answer Wendy. Wendy, yes, Claire Louise is here. I saw her make a comment earlier. I'm sorry we weren't able to say hello to everybody as you came
I
in, but I
did.
really feel like this discussion needed to be held.
Yeah.
I saw Angie, I think, that said this is very empowering awareness to let go of feeling responsible for others like we need to save them. It backfires every time, and what a big lesson. And I think this really needed to come out today. So, any apologies, we're not slighting anybody. We do see your comments, and we love that you're commenting and keep doing it. Keep commenting.
And Sharon Boyle said, and this back to what we were talking about, the environment and society in which we are brought up in formulate our beliefs and our behavior systems. So yeah, that's what we're moving through in this time of looking at those. Do you see Julie's after that? Do you want to about?
Can I read Edda's first?
Yes.
I don't see Julie's, but I see Edda's at the moment.
Okay.
Thanks to all your prayers and blessings of Teri and Jeryl Ann, Prachir and I had a narrow escape and was really protected.
Ah,
Yesterday around 11:30 p.m. a large chunk of ceiling fell and I was just millimeters away. In fact, at that very place where the cement stones fell, Prachir usually sits or plays his guitar. In fact, according to the professional expert, the crack came because of the earthquake. It, in fact, it was a major, major protection. Thank you, Archangel Michael and prayers of everyone.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
so glad you
so
guys.
glad you're safe.
Wow. Okay.
Mm,
This group is so powerful. It is, I mean, this collective of hearts and souls, each and every one of you, please take that in and realize how powerful each and every one of us are, and that together we can change the world. We are changing the world. We
we are
are
changing the
impacting
world.
lives in a positive way.
Yeah, and I just want to say, both of them, Etta and Prachir, were in the master class on Sunday. I gave everyone there the Shield of Archangel Michael attunement. So
Wow.
they received that on Sunday, and then this happened last night, and they were both totally protected and safe. Thank you. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for keeping
Yeah.
our dear friends safe. That's
Sharon,
very emotional.
yes. Sharon made the comment, and I'd love to address this. She said, it is going back to the Black Lives and what's going on. She says, it is a subject close to my heart, and I have always been interested in Black history, and it cuts me to the core, the suffering and pain they have had to endure. I felt the same. I've felt that way my whole life because I grew up in a very white town. I think there was and when I went to high school, there was at my high school, out of several thousand students, there was one Black student, and I saw what my dad did. I saw so much racism, and interestingly enough, I think a lot of us that really feel that so viscerally probably had other lifetimes where we were a slave, or we were Black, or any other race that was treated badly, and that what's coming up is some cellular memory. Your thoughts, Terry?
Absolutely, absolutely. There's something in there that's that's responding and that's being triggered. So yeah, just keep doing the forgiveness work and clearing that energy. Absolutely clear it. I saw, I think it was Sherry Seymour. So some more protection energy going on. She said, I had a large tree branch fall yesterday. It completely missed the house. Thank you, Archangel Michael.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm loving these stories. I just love all the testimonies of how we're protected by our angels, because we are. And anyone that doesn't feel safe where you're at, if I know there's a lot of violence going on right now, just call in Archangel Michael. He's
Yeah.
right there to help protect you.
Yeah. And Marianne says, when you know better, you do better. You're right, Marianne.
Yes,
Consciousness
absolutely.
is the.
Knowledge is power.
And did you see Jean's? It's to you. It's so cute. Can
Okay,
you see?
let me scroll up.
Okay. Yeah,
We've
she's up there.
got Jean Lorio.
No, Walensky.
Oh, Jean Walensky.
Yeah.
I have to say, hubby ran late and I have no coffee, and that, sweet, sweet Terry, is how much I love you all here. Love that you're here. We feel your energy. It's so beautiful. Thank you.
And Catherine says, I now date outside my race, and I have some of my friends tell me I need to date my own race, but I look at everyone as my race. We are all God's children. Absolutely.
We are. Was it you, Catherine, that made the comment earlier? I'm sorry I missed a lot of the comments, but I did see one about that someone had dated no, it was Julie Kiss.
Really kiss.
I dated a Spanish boy when I was young, and my mom and dad beat me and told me to stay with my own kind. I did not listen. I even knew then at a young age they were wrong. Why do people have to be this way? It hurts so deep. Yeah, I know, but let's put the energy back on you, and that you were so open and you realized that you were the same, that there was no difference. It doesn't matter what the color of the skin or what language we speak, there's no difference. We are all part of the oneness. And I have to say, um, I lived in a small town, even smaller than your town, Gerald Ann, if you can imagine that.
I
That's
can't.
where I grew up, was that kind of environment, and there was segregation. There was the area, and that was the only place that the African Americans were allowed to stay. They couldn't come out and integrate with us until I think I was a sophomore. I think I was a junior in high school, and that was the early 70s when that happened, that they started integrating into the schools. And I got to know some of them really, really well. And one of them wanted to date me. And I was like, oh my God, my father was such a racist. If I had brought that boy home, he probably would have shot him. My dad did have guns.
Yeah, no,
So,
and that's true. That was, I grew up, that was the one thing we weren't allowed to do.
yeah,
Don't ever, ever, ever bring a black person home, or we will pack your bags and put
mhm,
them on the front step.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's huge.
So,
Huge energy that we are now aware that we can do something. We can transmute that energy
yeah.
back to the light.
And I think that's what's so painful for people, because we, you know, I thought we had come a lot further than we had, but we haven't. And I think this is what we're seeing. We had kind of pacified ourselves into thinking that when it came to race relations, we were much further along than we are. And what I think we're seeing now is the why it's happening is so that we can see that maybe we're just not as far along as we thought, and now is the time to heal that. So, and do you see Carol's comment about last night?
I'm scrolling. Can you go ahead and read it? Because I'm not there
Yeah,
yet.
let me do. She says, I'm so happy about my experience last night. I had started working to heal my non relationship with my father last fall, went to his grave and forgave him and asked for forgiveness from him, even though I had never met him. Wow.
She met
Carol,
him last night.
powerful.
She
Yeah.
met him at the ancestral clearing, the seventh generation,
Okay. Oh,
and yeah, it was so very emotional.
wow.
Girl, you had a big night in both the intentions group and that seven
Oh
generation
my gosh,
healing.
Carol.
So
Congratulations
happy.
on that.
Yes, very, very happy.
And hi, Fran Marley. Good morning. It's so
And
nice to see
I'm sorry, I love Wendy's comment.
you.
Finding love should be Finding love should be regardless of color or creed. Totally agree with you, Wendy. I'm there with you on that.
Yeah. And Angie says this is very empowering awareness to let go of feeling responsible for others, like we need to save them. Backfires every time. Laugh out loud. What a big lesson. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't mean that if someone comes to us and asks us for help, that we don't help them. It means that until someone comes to you and says, please, can you assist me? I'm
Mhm.
willing to take responsibility. I'm willing to heal this. Will you help me do this? That's cool. That's cool. But until that happens, we really have to allow people to walk their own path and live their own movie, no matter what it is. And isn't that sometimes the hardest thing we can do, especially with those we love the most?
Yes, it
Yeah.
sure is. And Angie also says so much going on in a huge way for myself and my boys, and in relevance to what's going on worldwide. We are not needing to prove or know what is causing chaos necessary. It is more to claim our love and light within. So, no matter what comes our way, we know that within us we hold the power to transform anything.
That's
Thank you for those words, Angie. That's so true. This is about us. This is about us really going deep inside
yeah.
and seeing how there's anything in there that we can let go of, that we can just like dissolve it back to the light and let it go in to be transmuted. We feel so much lighter when we do that, when we get rid of that heaviness. And this is part of our ascension, people. This is what it's about. We can't move forward if we have all of that junk in there
Yeah.
that is just cluttering inside of us. So, yeah, please just take that moment. Just go inside, do the forgiveness, do the Ho'oponopono, ask for whatever is there to come up to the light to be healed. This is a healing, and that's what
Yeah,
we're all doing. We're healing together. And, it was unfortunate that lives, were ended, but let's look at what we can do now going forward. We can't do anything about the past. We
right.
can't do anything about the incident that happened. But I really feel like that was a catalyst to bring healing and to bring us to more awareness so that we can heal.
I agree. Deirdre says there has to be light to shine on the dark so it can be seen. This is the way to exact change. Absolutely,
Yes.
Deirdre. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because that is the only thing. Light and love. Love is light, same thing, but you can't have darkness where there's light. And we just have to, we just have to keep persevering. um, and did you see Scarlett's? Yeah, there must be light workers within the force. And I'm assuming that you're talking about the police force that was, assisting and taking a knee and doing all of that. And yes, uh, I think we're entrenched in the most amazing places. I think we would be surprised at the number of people that are waking up. And
Yes.
that's what this COVID
Mhm.
started, was people waking up.
Yeah. And it's all about change.
Wow.
It's a shift, it's a change. And I'm so glad I'm here at this time. We volunteered for this, people. It's no accident that we're here at this time experiencing this and helping to usher in more light into it because we volunteered to do this. And I love Alyssa Shepard's comment. She says, "Good morning, ladies. I can feel the waves of energy from these events sweeping over. Lots of hurt, but also feel it is catharsis. It
Yes.
is. It is. It's that which is being brought up to heal.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing. That's what we're all helping to do is to heal. So thank you. Thank you
And
for being
keeping each
here.
other lifted. That's what we do here. Good morning, Luann, up in Canada. I hope all your preparation for moving home is going well for you. That is, and Protima is watching with Etta.
Hi, Protima.
Yeah.
And I just typed in that it is prayer request time. We're not there yet, but you can have
Yeah.
time to type in your prayer request.
I've
I'll
got
finish
stuff.
going through some of these comments we
Yeah.
missed.
Oh, and I want to say something. I'm so happy. Sally got some sleep last night, everybody.
Oh,
About time. That girl and her and Tony are working so hard to heal this planet and get this healing center together. And she has not gotten much sleep. She wakes up with ideas and thoughts. You all know how that is. So let's pray she gets some continued rest every night so she can kind of start building up her reserves a bit. So, yeah, she said she fell asleep as soon as she sat still long enough
that.
and slept for a few hours. uh,
And
oh,
Sally also said, being born Mexican slash white, I had a lot of confusing moments in my life. I went through racism, called a half breed many times.
wow.
I understand that for sure.
That, yeah, I see. And that's the thing. Being raised in a, I'd say, middle class family, Ozzie and Harriet type stuff, it is so difficult for me I have compassion,
Mhm.
but I can't imagine whether you're black, white, Hispanic, mixed. I just can't imagine that kind of pain. I know what it was like to be bullied for being 6'1" when I was in sixth grade. I know what that was like to be an outsider always, but there is something even more visceral about a racial issue to me. And wow, for you to have picked that path, Sally, and for those that did pick that path, God bless you, because that's it. You know, it's a lot. It's a tough path to pick in this time. And
Catherine Kovacs has joined us. She says she's sorry she's late. You're in divine time, darling. So welcome and thank you for
I,
being here.
I love Jean Walensky's comment. She goes, Big Mike. Yes, he is the
Oh,
best
yeah.
call. I like that, Big Mike. That is so cute, Jean.
I sometimes say Uncle Mike. Yeah, and you know, it's funny because the angels are fun and they laugh right along with us. They don't take anything personally like that. It's like the more we can laugh and raise the vibration, the better. So
Yes.
I'm happy for that comment. And Carrie is here. Carrie Klingon Butcher.
Very.
Good morning, darling.
Uh, Alyssa said, did you read the one about her boyfriend? And I apologize if I'm double reading it about her boyfriend being Jamaican.
I don't think I did.
Okay,
I
I
might
just
have.
maybe did one from Alyssa. I just was like, okay, there's so much going on here, and I didn't want to do that. She says, my boyfriend is Jamaican descended, and he is amazing. Through his experience, this issue is right in my heart. Yeah, I can
Yes,
see that, Alyssa. That
yeah,
would
it's
be,
close to a lot of people.
yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, so where are we? I see some prayer requests coming in. I saw one for Sam. Do you want to
oh,
share?
good. Thank you for whoever put that in. Um,
Okay.
Also, our good friend, y'all know Stacy Lord that comes on. Her cousin Sherry has a grandson that's staying with her, and he broke his arm yesterday, Braylon. So I'm going to type in Braylon. Oh, I got to do it on this phone. I'm so used to yeah, I'm confused this morning. So
Yeah.
if you would say prayers for Braylon.
Yes,
Um,
please. And it was Stacy's best friend that lost her granddaughter recently. And let's keep that family lifted up. You know, sometimes we tend to forget unless we're reminded that there are so many people hurting from loss right now. And that family, and especially the grandson that was so close to his sister that was lost in that accident. Let's keep that whole family in our prayers.
yeah. And good morning to my friend Judy McLean. I hope you're still out there and hear me
Hi,
say good
Judy.
morning. And many of you are saying it's not about the color of our skin, it's about our spirit and our souls. You're right. We are all part of that divine essence of God. And this hopefully will help us to move away from and or move towards seeing the divine spirit in each other and not the skin suit that we picked to come here in.
Yeah. And Catherine said she watched the ancestral healing on the replay and it was very powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing it again today, Catherine, a little earlier. It'll be at 5 o'clock today for any of you that want to tune into that.
And Sherry asked for prayers for her back, right hip, and right hand. She's kind of a physical mess this morning. So, yes, Sherry, absolutely. Did you see Charles's comment?
I'm scrolling down. I don't see it yet.
Oh, I
Oh,
will. I will do that
comments.
tomorrow, Sherry. I'll be prepared.
Okay.
You see it?
Yes, after sending out healing at 3:33 in the morning to the world, the other night had a dream waiting for the elevator to go down. The elevator came, didn't get on for some reason. Got on the next elevator. There was a black man going down, and going down we started flying in circle. When the door opened, we slid out, looked at one another, said, "You have the power," and walked away holding hands.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
I have God bumps from head to
And
toe
we
right
talk
now.
about dreams and how we are connecting in our dreams. So that is powerful. And I know, Charles, that you were watching last night on the seven generation healing. I think that's affecting a lot of people. I saw, I can't remember who it was, somebody said that they felt the spaciousness around them after they cleared. And yeah, it is. It's Scarlett Patterson.
Okay.
So yeah, it's amazing what happens when you clear out that heavy energy and bring in the light. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing in more light into us to shine out to others.
Yeah. And Jean Walensky says I said the Big Mike earlier. She said it is from a Vietnam story when I was growing up. Some soldier could not get to Texas and was stuck at our house. The first time he ever saw snow, he regaled with me, storied of Big Mike. So, oh, and Sally asked for prayers for her daughter, Christina, for strength and wisdom. And good morning, Barbara. I'll see you later today. I'm so excited.
Okay. Carol says prayers for my ex's daughter Simone, who broke her arm yesterday.
A lot of broken arms.
Broken arms, broken bones.
Hmm.
Think about that and pray for all of those who are suffering right now in whatever way. There's a lot of suffering physically and emotionally at the moment. So
Yes.
lift up anyone who is suffering.
I love Carrie. Now Carrie's comment. She's replying to Sharon, but guidance and discernment for myself, healing for the universe, and remaining in the now so I can transform the next. Love to all. That's a good prayer too. I like that one.
Yeah. And Luann says she's not able to join in this morning, however, is sending you all much love and have a love filled day. You too, darling. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah. And Wendy reminded us we are the Angelic River family on Facebook. So please, anyone who is not joined, please come join us. It's a very positive, uplifting soul family.
It sure is.
Yeah.
And thank you for the reminder, Catherine. She says I should be there. I need to put the Zoom link into the group today, so I'll do that after we get off the show.
And Jean asked, can I ask for prayers for my shoulder and a friend who just found out they have pancreatic cancer? I am going to see him and his wife. Please pray that I will know how to bring them help with the highest good. Absolutely, Jean. That's tough.
Yes.
That's one of those diseases that really seldom has. It is a painful type of cancer. I've lost many friends with pancreatic cancer, and I'm going to be praying for all of you for sure.
I love this comment by Prachir. He says, Ma'am, I believe some of us may consider ourselves superior by virtue of the color of our skin, but the color of our blood is common. That's red. Can we ever differentiate between the color of blood by virtue of our skin color? Never. It's just absurd to classify humans.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Words.
Absolutely. It's amazing. And Catherine asked that we pray for her, her mom, and her husband, Michael. They just moved. So that's always an adjustment, isn't it? When you're all living together, and that is an adjustment.
Yeah, and I love Julie's response. If only our eyes saw souls instead of bodies, how different our ideals of beauty would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Charles added to his comment after they came out of the elevator with hands. After that, people looked at us making faces. Then we kissed one another. Wow. Powerful, Charles. I
Yeah.
like your dreams. Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw Alyssa Shepard. When things break, it is an opportunity to remake them and make them stronger.
Yes.
Sometimes something never healed correctly and needs to be broken again to heal properly. And I think that's the case sometimes with bones, also, isn't it? That they
Yes.
have to be rebroken and then set right so that they heal properly. So, good metaphor, and thank you for that comment.
Oh, thank you so much for cheer. He said, ma'am, today please put in special prayers for Teri Angel, ma'am, Jeryl, ma'am, Perchetta, and all those who are suffering on account of injuries. Thanks so much, ma'am. Thank you for cheer. I really am grateful for that.
Thank you. And it is time to start our prayers. I want to continue to add my nephew, Brian, in the hospital. my sister Billy's son. And for Billy, she asked for prayers for herself
Yeah.
yesterday. I didn't get a chance to call her, but I'll need to find out what's going on for her as well.
Yeah.
And anyone, any of your family members that are suffering, let's lift them up as well.
Yeah.
So let's go into our prayer time. And I don't know if we have any new people. I think we might have, but we are not a religious group. We are a love group. We share our love with each other on the soul level and on our physical level. We give big hugs to each other virtually and send out words of love to each other. And when I lift up these prayers, I lift them to God. I call it God, the highest source that is, the creator of all. You can call it by whatever name you want. Names are a human thing, but however you envision that highest power that is, that's where we take those prayers to. And we utilize the angels to help us to clear the energy that's attached to those and attached to the outcome. We're letting them go with love. So let's take a moment right now and breathe in love.
Can I
Yes,
just add one more? I'm so sorry. Melody Simmons posted yesterday, her son Josh, who's in Philadelphia, they were burning down buildings right next to his, and I think they caught the roof of his apartment building on fire. So our dear friend, Teri's, Melody's been one of Teri's students as well. Her son, who she adopted, has been really affected by these race riots. So please, let's keep him. Sorry, I had to forgot to put that
I
out
did
there.
remember seeing that yesterday from Melody. Okay, so let's take a moment now and start to breathe in. The breath is so important for connecting. So breathe in deeply into your heart center. Start to feel that stir in there as you do that. As we breathe in the love and the light, the compassion that we've spoken of with each of these requests that were read out loud or typed in, those that you are holding dear in your heart, start to feel that stirring in there. And we're asking Kuan Yin to help us to open up our heart center even more. Let it open wide. Just feel it expanding out around you. And breathe in again and breathe in gratitude. Let's give gratitude for a new day. I love to say it's a great day to have a great day. And we can adapt that as an intention because that's really what we're speaking is we create however we want this day to be. We create how we look at things, what our perspective is. So breathe in that. Breathe in your intention for today and breathe in the gratitude that it will bring you more awareness. It will bring you more opportunities to shine your light. And then relax out anything that's unlike love, that's unlike light. Just let anything go that's a worry or any anger or anxiety or sadness. Breathe it out and breathe in more of the light, more of the love. Let's really work on our hearts today because that's where we're being affected. We're really seeing people hurting. We're seeing the suffering. We're seeing people getting injured and people being protected from injury. So let's breathe more love, more gratitude right into the heart space today. See it open. Envision there's a lotus flower in there and see each petal start to come open with your breath. Every breath that you take in right into the heart is opening another petal of that flower. And as it opens up, it becomes more beautiful. We're going to open until we get to the very center of that lotus flower. And what colors are you seeing? I see a lot of green. I see a lot of pink. Just continue to open the petals with each breath. See them just falling down. falling around your heart. Maybe there's things in there that as you open that petal, you want to release that with the out breath. It seems there are some walls that have gone up, walls to protect against hurt. Let those past hurts go that are coming up as a memory, that are coming up to keep us from being our very best self and opening to love. As we open more and more, we're getting to the center now, letting that lotus totally open and seeing the beautiful flower there in the center. I see a white flower of purity. This represents the highest energy there is, the energy of God. Breathe in the essence of that flower. That is love. That's pure, unconditional love. And as you hold that in your heart, breathe it back out into every inhabitant of Mother Earth. Let everyone feel this purity, this acceptance, this knowingness that we are all the same. There is no separation. We are all part of the oneness that is. Let's just allow everyone to be just as they are, merging our energy with everyone's energy. As you continue to breathe in, taking in the essence of that unconditional love and sending it back out, let's call in Archangel Michael, our great protector angel, asking Michael to gather each of us together in the circle, holding all of us tight with your wings of love. And let's ask the other angels to join in to do some clearing. Archangel Raphael, we're asking you to help us clear the energy, any energy that has been there in our subconscious mind, to please clear that energy and make us a clear vessel of light and love. Clearing on the collective level as well. Feel that healing energy as it comes around you. Envision Mother Earth right now. Hold the image of Mother Earth, that beautiful blue planet that we are standing or sitting on. And breathe love and light over every inhabitant. Breathe it deep into the center of Mother Earth. And together let's ask Raphael to perform healing. Let's ask Michael to cut cords. There are deep cords. Ooh. Cords of anger, hatred, cords of racism. Michael, we ask that you now cut that cord, and we ask Raphael to heal up those places inside where we were hurting. And now let's ask Archangel Gabriel to help us bring in clarity and discernment into our lives, helping us to see the oneness in all of us, the connection of all of us. And Archangel Jeryl to help us transform and transmute that energy so that we can be more grounded into Mother Earth. Pray for balance in our lives. And with this awareness of the lotus flower that's open and that unconditional love inside of our hearts, let's start to lift these prayer requests And any prayer request that wasn't mentioned that maybe you're thinking of now and you're holding in your heart, just put it all in that center of the circle, seeing it all being melded together because we are all one. So that's part of us. Every prayer request that was lifted up, that's part of us. It's a fragment of our soul. So together we lift up our energy, we lift up the prayer request, asking the angels to help, lifting them up directly to God, asking them to be seen and heard, acknowledged and answered. And let's lose the expectation of what that looks like. Let's lose the attachment to the outcome of our prayers and asking Archangel Michael to cut our cords so that we can let them be free to be healed in whatever way is for their best and highest good. And we hold the space while that happens. And now bringing your attention back to your heart, feel that love again. Feel how good that feels to really have freedom, to have lightness inside of you. And let's look at each other, everyone gathered here, everyone that came for the exact same purpose, together with like-minded souls who are sharing love with each other. And let's do that. Let's do that now. Let's share our love. That's why we're here. That's what lifts us up. That's what gets us through each day, is knowing we are connected to the oneness. You are all so beautiful. We are all so beautiful. Feel that beauty inside and let's share it. Let's share the spoken words of love to each other. Looking to the person on your left, just say, I love you.
I love you.
I love you. Now breathe it back in. Breathe the love back in. Oh, breathe in that beauty and that grace and that energy that is so warm. And we're going to share it now with the whole collective group, everyone that's gathered, everyone who will gather as they listen to the replay of this. Let's include them in that circle. So we're going to start with gratitude. We're going to start saying thank you and say that from the heart. Really give that energy. And then say, I love you. And say it with passion and mean it. Really mean those words as you speak them. So on the count of three, 1, 2, 3.
Thank
Thank
you. I love you.
I love you. Give yourself a hand. What a beautiful, beautiful group this morning. Ah, you all are amazing. Just amazing.
What a wonderful discussion this morning, and what a wonderful healing, as we really start to dive deep. We just heal ourselves so much and can move forward with our light. And I'm just grateful. I'm really, really
So
grateful.
grateful. I have so much gratitude. I feel hugs coming my way.
Yeah.
Love. I see your hearts.
Everybody, thank you so much. And I really hope that, you're more able, each and every one of us are more able to find those places in ourselves, heal them, and shine our light brighter and brighter and brighter as we move through all of this. We grew the muscle. We started at the beginning with the COVID, and we started to grow the muscle of how to shine the light in the darkness. And I really believe that, so that when this time came, we were, I mean, it's kind of been a smooth transition. If we hadn't had the last few months, I I think we might be handling this whole thing a little differently. but we're seeing how powerful we are.
Yes, absolutely.
We are. We are.
Absolutely. I just want to reply to Charles Coons. I knew there was something very special about you, Charles. He says, I am president of a foundation who donates to people with cancer if financial assistance is needed. And Charles, I am going to get in touch with you. That's something that is so dear to my heart. I went through this last year with breast cancer, and it's my mission on earth now to make life easier for cancer patients, no matter what the form of cancer, and to really understand their emotional needs. But there is that aspect when you go through something huge like that, especially a physical illness, there's that financial aspect of not being able to perform whatever you were doing to have your financial aspect there for you. So thank you for saying that, and thank you for what you do. I
Yes.
really appreciate you, and anyone who reaches out to help those who are in need at the moment, whatever that looks like and wherever they are at. So thank you.
Absolutely. And good morning, Hope. I didn't see you earlier, so good morning.
You see Jean Walensky's comment? She says, thank you. My shoulder is so much better.
Hey,
Love
good.
heals. Love does heal.
Yes, it does. Yeah. I like Sharon's. Thank you. I love you. Yep, I do. Unconditionally and fully. Yes.
Hope
Yes.
you have a blessed day. Remember at 9 o'clock, Mira Rubin is on with the Core Connection, and then Diana after that goes to the playground at 9:30.
Yes.
And then
Absolutely.
at 5 o'clock today, we're going to do that 7 generation healing again.
Okay.
And hopefully, you all will be able to be on the Zoom and participate and really feel that energy as you let go and release the energy of the past.
Now, Terry, is that in place of or during your gratitude happy hour? Today's Tuesday, so I just wanted to clarify that.
It's in place of
Yeah.
Sally was supposed to join me today on Gratitude Happy Hour, but we are rescheduling that to another week so that I can continue doing this healing all week long. So thank you, Sally, and I'll get with you on the day that we're going to reschedule you to.
Yeah.
So thank
Oh,
you.
and Jean has a group called the Guy Hawkins Funds here, and they started a 501c3 in 97. So we're going to have to, please, would you both post in Angelic River Family what your groups are, how to get in touch, and all the pertinent information? That would be awesome.
The more people we can help, the better this world's going to be. So thank you. And I saw Deirdre with her comment, "Namaste, y'all." That's our cue
Thank
to
you.
dodge.
Namaste, y'all. I
Namaste.
love y'all.
I love you so much. Be blessed. Stay in love. Stay in love, and let that go out with your light into the world. Blessings, everybody. Bye.
Bye.